Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here we have a great article from RCR Wireless. I will leave it in the description so you guys could check it out. T Mobile US, big investments, big results for 2022. Now, I don't mind T Mobile touting its improvements because they are improving. They spent the most capital ever in a single year in the company's history at the 13.9 billion that they finished in 2022. The issue that I'm having with T-Mobile now is this, and I'll go ahead and read that off. And this is quoting Mike Sievert. T-Mobile is not only the 5G leader, but now the overall network leaders. And this opens big growth pathways for our future, Mike Sievert said. So I was okay with them claiming the 5G leadership because there's just no disputing it. Everyone shows that they have, even Root shows that T-Mobile has the biggest 5G footprint. And you were able to look at all the other third parties that showed it, and then you could look at the crowdsourced maps that showed it. So there was no fighting or disputing that T-Mobile had the lead in the 5G. But when you go on to say that you now have the overall network leadership, now that's different. You're entering a different type of arena. This is a different type of ball game when you now claim you have the overall network leadership. And knowing T-Mobile, as I've said in the previous video, that's going to probably translate into a marketing campaign that they're going to start very soon. I wouldn't put it past them. And I think this go around, if this does hit marketing nationally, Verizon or AT&T are going to challenge that. And they should. Because you can't claim overall network leadership when you're still the smallest network. I don't see how that works. And I will push back against T-Mobile on that. The security breach, that was a negative, and we'll talk about that in this article because Mike Sievert is quoted on that as well. But yes, the frequency is bad of how often they get breached, but every company gets breached every now and then. It's just happening very frequently with T-Mobile. But claiming that they have overall network leadership, that's a stretch. Because when you say 5G, that's fine, because we can look at third-party studies and we can kind of come to the conclusion like, okay, yeah, you got the 5G leadership. But when you put the word overall network leadership, now you're leading like overall. And I just don't see how that works. And I see, if that does hit national marketing, I see AT&T and Verizon challenging that like this fast, quick. They're going to jump on that quick. Because, there are still small towns and cities that T-Mobile just doesn't cover, where Verizon and AT&T still have coverage. So when those customers see like, hey, T-Mobile is the overall leader, but they don't work here, how does that's just, to me, that's confusing. You can win across all third parties, this, that, and the third. But if you don't have the largest network, how can you claim overall network leadership? That's my only issue with that, and I'll continue pushing back against T-Mobile. Like I said, I don't mind them touting improvements, but to say that they have the overall network leadership, I mean, that's just far-fetched in my opinion. So Sievert had about a 17 to 20 second prepared remarks of the cybersecurity. So Sievert said T-Mobile's U.S. investments in cybersecurity showed up in a critical way several weeks ago after identifying a criminal attempt to access our data through an API. We shut it down within 24 hours. And more importantly, our systems and policies protected the most sensitive kinds of customer data from being accessed. While I'm disappointed the criminal actor was able to obtain any customer information, we are confident that our aggressive cybersecurity plan will allow us to achieve our goal of becoming second to none in this area. So they're saying pretty much what he's saying is if they wouldn't have taken the steps that they did on the last big breach in August of 2021, we would have probably seen more info, being accessed from the bad actor in terms of Social Security and payment info if they didn't take those necessary steps to secure the system. So they have more work to do there. And he does acknowledge that they need to do more, but they want to be second to none on that. So that could come in the future. For me, I would have to see several years of them not getting hacked for me to start changing my tune on that. Like, okay, yeah, they might, whatever they're doing or have done is really working, and they haven't gotten hacked for a few years now. That's what it would take for me to kind of change my opinion on that. So that's what I wanted to talk about in these 2 points that I wanted to talk about in this video. It's just, to me, it's going to be tough to acknowledge and accept the fact that T-Mobile is claiming overall network leadership. That's going to be a tough pill for me to swallow. The RootMetrics report is coming out, I think, tomorrow or the day after. I know Verizon already posted an article, but I looked on the website and I didn't see the official one to click on to. So I think Verizon launched that article that they launched a bit premature. So I want to wait for that report to release. And that's a scientific test. So I kind of want to counter T-Mobile, hey, look, you got the crowdsourced, which out of those crowdsourced third parties, I am told Verizon and AT&T really only acknowledge Ookla. The rest of the Umlaut and the Open Signal, Verizon and AT&T really don't look at that as, hey, you can claim by using those reports. Now, RootMetrics, if T-Mobile takes that one, Verizon isn't going to say anything, right? Because they've been using that one and they fully, truly believe in that reporting. So they won't say much on that one. But if T-Mobile, like I said, if T-Mobile comes out, national campaign, hey, we have overall network leadership, that's not going to sit well with Verizon or AT&T. I can promise you guys that. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for more. Like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.